4-8.
My daughter up there.
Should be 422, right? I had it before.
Yesterday.
Oh, here, go back to the photos.
Nobody's finding me.
More.
No, that's what more.
Good eye.
What you been up to?
Yeah, I can tell you. No, I didn't know we had that.
It was right on the first page. Yeah. No, I don't need it.
Okay. Who's the guy who said?
Never completely done, is it?
Are you gonna be?
It was good.
No.
I don't know.
It's 15 years old, it's $12,000. I got it.
All right, let's do this. You're gonna do that, right? Everybody ready? Wake up. Tab.
Good.
Call this meeting of the Mississinewa Community School Corporation, regular meeting of Board of Trustees. Susan, Ms. Miller will do the prayer and pledge for us.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for that spring finally has arrived. And please help us through this meeting, make the wisest decisions possible with the best interest of students and staff at heart. Help us as we move forward towards the end of the school year. Just protect our kids, help our staff as they move towards summer. We give you the glory in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Mike. Huh? There's one up there.
Oh, there's an egg up there.
Well, we got them everywhere. Someone put them on his Chris. Somebody put them on my seat.
Not me.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Miller, for the. Okay, minutes from 103 minutes from the last meeting.
Mr. President,
Yes, Chris.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting as presented.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I think Mike got it. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side. Okay, motion carries. 104. Bank proposal recommendations. Mr. McKenzie.
Yes. First of all, I want to tell you that we have a secret Easter bunny that exists. On Friday, when we all came to the office, there were eggs everywhere in our offices and various places. This is the first time I've seen that egg up above. I think that's George Washington. Yeah.
There's one up there, too.
1 o'clock, too.
Oh,
I
they're all
haven't
over the
seen that one
chairs.
either. In chairs.
We forgot to check this room.
We have our suspicions who it is, but we haven't made that detection. But
Not
anyway,
funny, Jamie.
I will refer the item 104 to Mrs. Townsend for
Yeah,
recommendation.
I put information in your packet that we did take proposals from 4 different banks for our corporation account and also our extracurricular accounts. And so it is my recommendation this evening that we use First Merchants Bank for our corporation account and Mutual Bank for our extracurricular account.
Okay. What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
I heard Denny this time, Mr.
that's
Smith.
good.
Make a motion to approve the bank proposal recommendation.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Rivera. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 105, summer meal programs.
Yes, provided in your packet was the plan for serving meals at the schools for this summer. And I've got Mrs. Warwick here this evening to address any questions or comments you might have in that regard. And so we would recommend approval of that plan and that program as presented this evening.
Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask? Anybody, is everybody okay with it? Okay, I need a motion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Crouch.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the summer meal program as presented.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Miller. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. School calendar revision, Mr. McKenzie.
Yes, we would recommend tabling this item at this time.
Okay. You don't need a motion for that, so.
Do you need a vote?
No.
Table?
You want a motion?
I make a motion, we table that item.
Okay. Mr. Crouch, need a second?
Second.
Mr. Freitas, okay. Any questions, any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Personnel, Mr. McKenzie.
Yes, Mr. President, we have the following personnel items for the board's consideration this evening. Tony Anderson has resigned as the life skills special education teacher at R.J. Baskett Middle School, effective at the end of the present school year. Kim Slagle has resigned as a bus driver, effective April 22nd. And David Murphy to be hired as the bus driver replacing her, effective April 22nd. Todd Liddick to be hired as a second shift custodian at Westview Elementary, effective April 29th. And we would recommend approval of these personnel items as presented this evening.
I need a motion, board.
Mr. President,
Mrs. Freitas,
I move we accept the personnel report as presented.
can I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Smith, questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 108, fall conferences, Mr. McKenzie.
Yes, we have the following conference requests for the board's consideration. Susan Lopsiger to attend the Project Lead the Way on Human Body Systems in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on June 3rd through the 14th at a total cost of $2,400 to be paid for from the high school Project Lead the Way account. So we would recommend approval of this conference request as presented this evening.
Okay,
Mr. President,
Mr. Smith.
make a motion to approve the conference request as presented.
Okay. Need a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Miller. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. So motion carries. Facility report, Mr. McKenzie.
Yes, we will bring that to you in one of the meetings in May, the current status of the summer project plan. For the most part, all the pricing estimates are in. We have, with the adding of the LED lighting school-wide at Northview and for the for the R.J. Baskett Gymnasium, we've come close to maxing out our budget for the summer. I think we're still about $10,000 short of that max, so I don't think we're gonna bring you any new things at this point, but that's where we are as far as I know. Mr. Gosser, you have anything to add? Any questions?
Aye, board. Okay, hearing none, well, you don't need a motion, so Mr. Cunningham, legislative update.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, Pam was nice enough to load this document in everyone's Google Drive, but so we went from 78 bills down to 56 that did not make it either from the House to the Senate or from the Senate to the House in the period of time. So the ISBA does a good job of providing a kind of a review about where we're at. Probably the most significant ones, I'll probably highlight 3 or 4 here, bills of significance. One is the budget bill, House Bill 1001. Big things that come out of there, I think, are looking to maintain the budget for teachers' retirement fund liability and the payoff of the $150 million of that, which in turn I think is supposed to free up like $70 million statewide for school corporations in their education budgets. That's a highlight. Raises the tuition support formula to I think 2.35. We were hoping to get 2.5, and we may still get that, but that's where that's setting right now. The teachers' appreciation grants are still alive with 30 million placed in that now. And then the Secure School Grant Program, that's still alive, which is, I think the House increased that by 5 million a year. And so those are the major things. Some of the things that that I've been communicating with our legislators about and opposing is the second ADM count in second semester. And they've asked us to oppose that from the ISBA. And then, I think that's it. You'll have most of those that are in your, all of those bills that were, the 56 that are left are in your packet. It focuses on school safety. They're a little worried because of the latest budget forecast, because they're looking at a loss of several $1 million from what the financial forecast is. So they might be a little bit more reserved than what they were earlier on funding. But everything has to, by the next time we meet, I will know. The 29th is the close of the session, so everything is going on fast and furious now. The report I gave you was from last Friday. Probably either tomorrow or Wednesday, I'll get an updated report. And if it has anything earth-shattering, I'll probably send you guys an email.
Excuse me.
So, answer any questions you might have.
Anybody, board? Okay. Okay, thank you, Chris. Great job as always. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
111, corporate sponsors, donations, grants.
Yes, we have the following donations for the board's review tonight for your consideration. To the golf team from Bill Corey in the amount of $500. To the after prom from Nicholson Realty in the amount of $100. To the after prom from Mike Anderson Chevrolet in the amount of $100. To the robotics teams from Robin Gobber in the amount of $25. To the robotics teams from Fazal Rabi in the amount of $50. To the robotics teams from Tech Point Foundation in the amount of $1,500. To the high school baseball team from the Poorhouse in the amount of $1,000. To the unified track meet from Psi Iota Chi in the amount of $100. To the unified track meet from Fairmount State Bank in the amount of $25. To the unified track meet from Pearson Printing in the amount of $50. To the unified track meet from Central Indiana Ethanol in the amount of $150. And we would recommend approval of these donations as presented this evening.
What's the board's pleasure? A motion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Freitas.
I move that we gratefully accept these donations to these activities.
Okay, need a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Herrera. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 112, Ms. Town.
Yes, I'm recommending claims be paid tonight in the amount of $1,124,047.07.
Okay, guys, everybody's had a chance to look it over. Any questions or comment? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Cunningham.
I make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion made by Mr. Cunningham, second by Mr. Smith. Okay, no comments, no questions, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same, motion carries. 113, correspondence and other business, Mr. McCarthy.
Yes, we have a few items this evening. The next board meeting is May 6th, right here in this room. The district regional ISBA meeting is scheduled for May 16th. Begins at 6. We were going to leave from the central office at 5:15 that evening. I believe that's a Thursday, and we're thinking you're all going. So if you're not going, let Mrs. Wilson know that.
Is anybody not going?
So,
Right now, I'm good.
If you're not without penalty.
okay, that's only a few weeks away. The ISBA state conference in the fall is September 29th through October 1st, and that's not as immediate and urgent as the district meeting, but if you are, I think we've heard from most of you, one way or the other on this. A couple of you we haven't heard from, but as soon as you know your status for that conference, please let Mrs. Wilson know by either text, email, or just pick up the phone call, like that method better. That's all I have. Mrs. Townsend, Mrs. Winter, you guys have anything? Principals have anything? That's all we have this evening.
I had one little thing. Jordan Arms, he's gonna get his commission in the Air Force as an officer. Mrs. Andrick, is the lady that's gonna do it. So Laura, what? Sanchez, yeah. It's gonna be noon on May the 5th. That's a Sunday, I believe, at the Veterans Memorial up there. So I'm sure if anybody, you know him, I guess he's gonna be a doctor. I'm not sure what kind of doctor, but that's what his career is going for. So he's one of our own, so it's really nice that he's coming back here. So you might pass the word. I'm sure he'd appreciate, a great turnout for that. So is anybody else got anything?
I have one thing, and Jamie, I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. I was contacted by a couple parents about the situation at the traffic now that Casey's is open. Coming in and out of those middle school events is just trickier all the time. And there could be some horrible accident there. And I know after school she has people out there directing traffic. And I was just suggesting that we give a list of all of our activities to the police, and whenever there's something going on, if they could send somebody down there. It's really tricky to turn left coming out of there. And even during the school day, it's tricky. And Casey's just kind of complicates it a little more.
We'll contact the police and provide that.
Anyone else?
We might even pay them something if we can get somebody.
If anyone has other ideas, but it's a concern.
Another thing I thought of is they had the prom, not this past Saturday, thank goodness, that was an awful day, but the Saturday before that. Tell us about the prom.
It went really well. The junior class sponsors tell me it may have been the biggest prom they've had in a long time, over 300 students. Everyone was well behaved. After prom was hosted at IOU, and again, it was short and sweet. We've learned over the course of time that longer isn't always better. The kids come and have a good time, and it went really well, and good feedback. So
No
The
incidents.
dresses were beautiful. I saw a lot of them on Facebook.
The prom was at the high school gym, right?
I'll go to the gym.
That's all we have, I think.
Anybody think of the board? This might be a record, John. 114, adjournment.
It's not a record.
So move, Ms. Miller. Second, anybody second?
Second.
Ms. Freitas? Boy, you guys. Okay, any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're adjourned.